I'm not gonna lie. I think something wrong with my eyes.
You said what?
Something wrong with my eyes. You see something? I can't take them off you.
Oh man, that's awesome. So Paul and Morgan had what we wish we knew about sex. Nick did a "You Cringe You Smoke" to this not too long ago, but I didn't see any of that. But he did tell me he told me after that this video is fucking crazy. So let's see what it's all about.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
I hate that so much. It's so unnatural. What does this shirt say? In the world, but of the word. I don't know what that means. That's nonsense.
Today's video, that's an extra special kiss, Morgan, because we got some extra special, a little bit spicy video for you all today. And Morgan, as I was prepping for this, I was just like, it could get spicy. It could get a little awkward. It's just the beauty of talking about this stuff.
They always say this. They make so many sex videos and they always say it could get spicy, and it's like, you know, they do fucking cold, dry sex with the lights off. Like, what? How could it get what's spicy about your sex life? Nothing.
We want to approach it well, but we also don't want to be one of those channels that like says we're going to talk about sex and then we're super vague and super safe. So are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
I swear to God, she's on Valium. Like, this is just me being like a little drama queen, like nosy bitch. You can take Valium while you're pregnant.
They are the most vanilla, no foreplay, hate each other ass couple. I would never take advice from them.
Dude, there is not a single shot in fucking hell they do any foreplay. He kisses her on the cheek and he's like, are you ready?
Give a little disclaimer.
The disclaimer is that we're all adults here. If you're not over the age of 18, watch with discretion.
What do you mean? If you're not over the age of 18, you shouldn't be watching this.
If you are someone who struggles with lust or temptation
Yo, anyone out here struggling with lust?
We're not going to get overly descriptive. We're not.
Damn it!
My goal is for this to be a video that if we would have watched this after 4 months of dating and we were starting to think about marriage.
Huh? Excuse me? Yo, Christians are fucked up. 4 fucking months? That's insane. Like, that's why abstinence is bad, is because it literally pushes people to get married sooner because they're horny.
All right, very good. Let's go, baby. What we wish we knew about sex.
Let's go. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We give commentary on culture, social issues, and faith to help you be in the world.
But of the word, we got our shirts.
Oh, it's their merch. That's why it sucks so bad. Her makeup crazy. Dude, I don't know what it is. Like, she always looks like this. I don't know if it's a tan, like she's got like a sunglasses tan line, but she's always so orange on her cheeks and forehead. Her bronzer is so orange, her highlight is so white. In contrast, her makeup looks so ugly, it ages her so much. She does look like she's fucking 50. It's weird. She doesn't need to wear makeup. She's pregnant. She has an excuse. It's just bad contour. Oh, cosplaying as Trump. Kinda, yeah. Maybe that's what Paul's into.
All right, first thing I knew about, I wish I had known about sex, was this. Okay. Don't expect your sex, once you get married, don't expect the sexiness and the adventuresome, crazy, awesome stuff to go from 0 to 100 right out of the gate.
This is why we need sex ed in schools so badly. He doesn't have the vocabulary to express himself. This is sad. Adventuresome? That's not a word. He does sound like a child. Say the word orgasm, Paul. I dare you. Do we think he goes down on his wife? No fucking shot. And if he does, it is not good.
Realize that is going to take some time. And if I had realized that before getting married.
He's trying to say that he was way too horny. That's why he probably got married.
And if I had realized that before getting married, I wouldn't have brought out the whipped cream on our honeymoon.
They were dating. I don't know how long they were dating before they got married, but like the second time you have sex with somebody, that's weird.
It was a bad idea. It made Morgan cry.
Yes, it did.
Here's the thing. It's not enough for someone to bring out the whipped cream for you to cry. That doesn't make any sense. It had to have been, he brought out the whipped cream, And then she was like, I don't really want that. And then he like pushed her into it and then she cried. That's what I think happened. Yeah, he made Morgan cry, not the whipped cream. And also, like, if you wanted to bring, like, again, this is why you need sex ed, is because if you want to bring whipped cream or whatever, like, external thing into your sex life, you have to communicate that very clearly. And if you don't have the vocabulary to even express how you feel, you certainly don't have the vocabulary to ask somebody for something like that. Whipped cream doesn't even do much. Like, I don't know. No disrespect, but I feel like that would be... I feel like you just make a mess, really. Please don't bring a dairy sugar mix into the bedroom. That's a recipe for sticky. I don't care if it was sticky. I would be like, if you got whipped cream in my sheets, I'd be really fucking pissed off. Like, I can always shower. I don't care. But don't get it in my bed.
We're like 3 days into our marriage in Miami, Florida on our honeymoon.
Ugh. You went to Miami for your honeymoon? Oh my God. What a horrible decision.
And he brings out a can of whipped cream, and I'm like,
And here's the thing. It sounds. Take that however you want. You're shocked. You're appalled. You're laughing. But in all reality, in my mind, it was, I'm finally married. Now I welcome everything in the kitchen sink into our sex life.
You didn't even talk about it?
And Morgan's like,
I'm like, bro, I barely know you.
Dude, what the fuck happened to this girl? Was she in an arranged marriage?
I want to be careful of doing generalizations, but I do think typically the man may come out more guns a-blazing, where the woman wants to take it more slowly, more emotionally, getting to know each other in that intimate way.
Yeah, women don't like sex.
All right, so here's the thing with me. I was not a virgin. Most of you guys know this when Paul and I got married. But it's super interesting because as I've been thinking on this topic, it popped up on my YouTube channel, The Perrys. Jackie Hill Perry and her husband did a video like this as well. And I was like, oh, that'd be a really good one. So shout out to them and their video.
Okay.
But
He just said, okay.
so shout out to them and their video.
Okay.
Okay. Whatever. Shut the fuck up. Like, that's so passive. Oh my God.
I feel very much like when I met Paul, I was in a totally different place in my life. I had repented. I was not living in sin in that way. And when Paul and I got married, like, I felt like a virgin. I felt like I had never done it before.
Virginity is not real. It's not a thing. It's just fake and stupid. Virginity's not real. Do you think they play CBAT? Yeah, for sure. She was rehymenated after repenting. Oh, God. If sex is something you enjoy and plan on doing in your life for the first time, you had sex is no different from the first time you ate pasta or something. Yeah. Like, it has as much meaning as you want to attribute to it. My first time having pasta was life-changing, and it's life-changing every time I have it. I will die for pasta. I can't remember the first time I had pasta. I can't remember the first time I've done a lot of things. And I'm sure plenty of people don't remember the first time they had sex.
So my first one is, it takes so much more communication than you would think to have a truly healthy sex life. Like, if you think that you've communicated about sex, you probably haven't communicated enough about sex.
That's a weird take.
There are times when either Paul and I are maybe even making a video or talking to one another or another couple, and like, we're like, oh, how's our sex life doing? I'm like, it's great. And Paul's like, well, it's good, but, and I'm like, wait, what? I thought we were good. I thought we were on the same page.
His sex in marriage like there are rules. Why do I feel like he's making rules?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the most fun part about watching Paul and Morgan, is just like sitting here and like armchair psychology, psychoanalyzing them. Because they are very strange folk. Also, yeah, like, I thought we were on the same page. Like, how do you not talk about this? Again, it comes from just like the no sex ed, no bitches, no fucking experience. You have no concept of how to communicate properly. So it comes to a boil either when like things are unbearable or when like somebody finally asks, like, is it good? Like, it's crazy.
My next thing I wish I had known before getting married, this one's pretty interesting. And this one takes some vulnerability on my part.
Okay.
To share this.
Okay, I'm scared.
If you guys are looking forward to my next one, give this a thumbs up. Let's get that thumbs up. What I wish I had known was, Paul, be careful what sex books / articles. We'll stick with sex books / articles
Okay.
you read.
Paul. Okay, what sex books are you reading?
Because there's a lot out there, and for certain intrigued personalities, I'm a virgin. I was homeschooled.
God, a homeschooled virgin. Jesus Christ, that explains so much about him.
I'm super excited about sex, and I would like to be somewhat prepared for it.
He's reading articles, guys. You don't understand. He's reading articles. It's not porn. He's looking at articles and reading books. It's all just like research.
So I was taking in this stuff, and that actually kind of goes along with my first one. It caused me to have these expectations because maybe I was just grabbing and reading an article about sex from
The exotic books.
whatever this, the Cosmopolitan at the store. And it's like, that stuff is actually, a lot of it is kind of garbage, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is setting expectations that don't need to be there because who you're going to end up with is very unique.
Also, like, all those Cosmo articles are about how to spice things up with someone that you already have a clear line of sexual communication with, that you've had sex with before. He's talking about it like he was tricked into reading it, like it was false advertising, when it was pretty obviously not that. It's also vanilla as fuck. But that's definitely where he got the whipped cream idea, for sure.
I think Paul showed me one book that he was reading, or like at least skimming through, and I was like, oh boy, he is really hyping this up. I hope he doesn't expect me to try that move with him in our first week. He did.
Okay, but why didn't you say something? Why didn't you say that to him? What the fuck? That move. What do you think that move is? Like, there's no way he got something that was actually that spicy. Something gymnastic? Like, what? What would they find gymnastic? Oh god, I don't want to get banned. What is this? Sex for Christians, the limits and liberties of sexual living. Now considered a classic statement on sex and sexuality from a Christian perspective, Lewis B. Smead's Sex for Christians offers a frank yet compassionate discussion that is refreshingly open-minded and strongly biblical. I almost gave this book 2 stars, but went with 3. Because I think I'm glad overall that I read it. It was beautiful in its view of sexuality in parts and was mostly an enjoyable read. However, Smead's definitely had some hot takes, at least from an evangelical perspective. Still, I was not frustrated with this book for... What are the hot takes then? This book was written during the sexual revolution. I was told by a friend that worked at Biola University, banned it. Stupid people. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being sex positive if you're a Christian. That's fine, I guess. But not only is this a Sex for Christians book, this book is from like the 70s. Like, if your views on sex really can't change in 50 years, like, come on.
There are plenty of Christian sex books out there that I think are very beneficial.
Or just like sex within marriage are really good ones. Those are typically safe. And there's some that are, you can learn valuable stuff. Sex for Dummies. Like, there's valuable stuff, but you...
Is that real? The perfect gift to slip under your loved one's pillow. Oh my god. Imagine one day your partner gives you a gift and it's Sex for Dummies. Genius joke gift idea, by the way. If you're like in a long-term relationship and you want to get your partner something funny, that's awesome. That is so funny. Dr. Ruth's prescription for a pleasurable sex life. Getting ready for sex. So you want to know more about sex? Tuning the male organ. Demystifying the female parts. I actually think this book could be decent because it is written by a psychosexual therapist. It's also written by a woman. Enjoying oral sex. Savoring solo play and fantasy. Keeping up with cyber sex and other hot stuff. Ruth! Getting to yes. Look, it's emphasizing consent, contraception and sex, foreplay, afterplay. Okay, come on. Paul and Morgan need to read this. I mean, apparently they did, but I don't know.
My next one, I'm going to read what I wrote down and then I'm going to explain it a little.
All right.
Sex can mean 2 very different things to each of you. This is something I wish I knew. For him, it could mean a physical moment of intimacy that brings a very nice release of stress, tension, whatever. For me, her, whatever, you It could mean a time to connect in a very intimate way where before the physical, you want the relational, the conversation, the cuddling, and that actually means more to you than the actual act of sex.
Okay.
Okay, that is such a fucked up. That is so. She did him so dirty. Dude, she literally was just like, it can mean two very different things. It could mean just physical sex, or it could mean the thing that I like. Like, oh my God.
So something like that I came to find is that there are times, it's not every time, but there are times when for me, the physical act of sex doesn't mean that much. Like it doesn't do it for me.
It doesn't mean jack squat.
She's just telling on him. She's just saying he sucks at fucking. She's just saying he's bad at fucking.
It doesn't mean jack squat unless I have the relational like interaction with Paul beforehand, where whether it's just like we're
They don't do foreplay. There's no way. He's a one pump chump. This is why it's okay to have good sex before marriage, dude. They're both like very repressed, and Paul does not manifest that. Like most men don't, in a healthy way.
like something that is not a very sexual thing, but just a connecting thing, so that I feel like we're on the same page, and then I feel much more connected to him, and the physical act becomes much more pleasurable for me.
She's literally just saying like, please pay attention to me, and he's just like, I don't know. Like this is like the easiest thing to communicate, and they've been married for years.
My school had a quite okay sex ed class where they taught us anatomy and how it works / what to do, STDs and safety, consent and abusive / manipulative relationships. But your parents needed to sign a form and religious kids could be taken out during this class, which I think is effed up. This class shouldn't be an option. Because of this, a lot of religious kids were never taught basic fucking things like how to call out that sort of manipulation, SA, and just their general safety, especially against S.
Especially against S. I don't think you should be able to opt out of shit like that. There's no point. It's like opting out of math. It's like, okay, you're getting like really fucked over.
There were times when like it would just be the physical act of sex for us, and like we would have really not that much conversation beforehand. This is at the beginning of our marriage, and it was like very hard for me because I was like, I'm not like, what? I don't feel fully fulfilled right now.
Yeah. No, that's good.
And then he'd just walk away feeling great.
Just walk away. Feeling great. Okay. No foreplay, no aftercare. One pump jump.
All right. My next thing that I wish I had known before getting married was that sex and pleasing your partner takes work. And you don't really think of sex being work. Sex is just all pleasure. No, it does take work. It takes focus to be able to please your partner and give your partner what feels good to them. There's also a caution.
You like to make your partner feel good.
Yeah, but for Paul, it is work. And it's like, I get it. If you're a selfish asshole, like, sure, it's labor, I guess.
I just kind of caution you guys about the types of books you read, but there's also a caution to not do any research and just expect that we've been married 3 years and I love my wife and so she is happy with our sex life. When in reality, I'm just, not thinking about it. Oh, it's time for sex, and we have sex and then we on to the next thing.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you do after? Dude, it's literally like that meme where it's like the girl sitting in bed and she's like, this man just came in me and went to go play League. Like, what the fuck is he doing?
Actually, if I am going and finding books that can teach me how to please my wife, please a woman, please my wife, it is going to help our sex life be more fruitful, more fulfilling. Always be learning. Always be learning, always be growing. And I plan to, in the near future, pick up another book that I think is a good, safe, wholesome book to continue to grow as a sexual partner to my wife.
Books know more than my wife. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Like she's telling him everything he needs to know. Did woohoo time good to go stand in the living room for 5 minutes? Yeah, they are Sims. That explains the plants. Just ask what she wants maybe. Well, that's the thing. She's telling him that she wants like communication and like more sentimental sex, right? But she doesn't know how to communicate that, and he doesn't know how to receive that because neither of them have any sexual experience.
Yeah, it is interesting just like thinking sex is just gonna like happen, and maybe part of that is a problem within the church of not explaining like it does take work. It is a lot of effort, and
I don't like them calling it work. Like, it's effort. You have to try. It's not like sex just doesn't happen automatically. Also, this might be a hot take, but like, I don't think there's anything wrong with watching erotica to learn. Like, don't watch porn, but you can watch erotica. There's erotica made by sex researchers that is educational. They're not even like attractive, and they're just like old people, but they're like exhibiting good communication, and they're showing how to incorporate like toys and like you can do that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Two people that have no prior sex experience can still communicate and make it work great for them if they really care about each other and are open-minded. It's not impossible. Yeah, but it's also like it has to do with them being repressed and not having the vocabulary. They literally don't have the words, and that's something that you have to go to outside sources like books or like erotica or even porn sometimes. Like, a little bit of porn exposure isn't the worst thing in the world. I think it does more harm than good long term when it comes to like a younger and adolescent male brain. But like, erotica is different. Erotica is very different from porn. It's not even the same as ethical porn. Erotica is like meant not necessarily to be arousing. It's generally more for education. If you look at surveys on women watching porn, a lot of women watch porn. Married women watch more porn than any other demographic of women. Interestingly enough, it's like 45%. But of the porn that women watch, erotica is more common because it's not made for the male gaze, usually.
You know, my favorite thing about the movie is like it feels like a movie. It feels like a real, like, you know, go to the theater film movie that you know, you kind of, the reason why you go to watch something on the big screen.
He's so right. He's so right for that. Oh my God, yeah, you're so right. Paula's like, my favorite thing about sex is when it feels like sex. You're so right.
it's a selfless act sometimes of just like really, learning what your spouse truly enjoys and like feels loved by.
Yeah.
And it's awkward, uncomfortable conversations where your feelings might be kind of hurt because if you ask them, hey, like, do you enjoy when I do this? And they're like, well,
Yeah.
no.
Right. Oh,
And
that's
it's like,
tough.
oh, like, oh, this is embarrassing or humbling. But yeah, I mean, just going into this in a very humble way is what you need to always do. And don't be afraid to say, no, I'm not enjoying that. But
Yeah.
say it in a kind way.
Yeah,
Say it in
definitely.
whatever way you want, like, but also talk about shit beforehand. Like, Morgan is like, my favorite thing about sex is when I'm not having sex. Yeah.
Enjoy-
I only watch lesbian porn and I'm pretty straight. If you're a woman, then I have news for you. Also, the lesbian porn is not lesbian friendly, so if you're straight and enjoy it, that's not what it actually is. Yes? I think I'm confused by your wording. Lesbian porn for lesbians is an entirely different thing. You're right. Same with gay porn. Dude, gay porn sucks. Like, most gay porn is fucking weird. Gay porn just rides on the fact that it's gay. It's just like fetish gay. It's like gay being a fetish. It's like, it's not normal. It sounds so homophobic. No, it's just like, I don't know. It's like BDSM porn is like not good either. It's like, it's always taken to the extreme. Right? When like you look up like straight porn and there's plenty of like, I guess, vanilla straight porn, but there's no like vanilla gay porn unless it's like homemade gay porn. Like, all produced gay porn, yeah, it's borderline violent. Same with BDSM porn. And there's a lot of overlap too.
So this one, I kind of maybe talked about it, but sometimes sex just doesn't do it for you, and that's okay. But you have to communicate that you want to be loved in other ways to make sure you are getting pleased as well. So, like, yeah, kind of like my previous one before that. Like, there are times when sex just, it felt good and I enjoyed being with my husband in that way, but like, it's not what I need right now to feel loved by you.
Like, that's fine, but it's just like, I hate this idea of her just like sitting there and being like, this is fine. Like,
All right, here we go. This one's interesting.
Okay.
What I wish I knew about sex is that sex / lack thereof, and what I mean is when you expected to have it, maybe it was talked about earlier on, or there was some flirty text messages, or you just scheduled like today's our day of sex, and then
Today's the day of sex. Yeah, classic.
you get ready, like the night is moving towards that, and something happens, and you end up, it's like, oh, we're not gonna have sex. Maybe you get in a fight. Maybe person just gets super exhausted and is too tired. Whatever. For me, sex / lack thereof is, and especially was in our first couple of years, very emotional.
I don't think he saw sex as emotional. I think he fucking felt entitled to sex and was emotional when he didn't get it.
And so I remember I would be maybe laying over on my side of the bed, and we had gotten in an argument, and it was like, okay, it's pretty clear that sex isn't happening when I thought it was going to. And it was just brutal.
Literally, what did I tell you? I literally just said that.
Like it hits you in a way that I don't think I'd ever experienced. The feeling of being let down, of sad, of upset.
Let down, like it's her fault.
I just want to go get in my car and just drive. I just want to not be here. I'm angry, like literally so many emotions.
Dude, oh my god. Go jack off. What is wrong with you? Literally a baby.
Because I think it's a combination of sex is just so pleasurable, but it's also so intimate and so beautiful. And suddenly that's being taken away.
Yeah. Yeah, it definitely, like, if Paul and I get into an argument and sex doesn't end up being on the table that night or whatever, in the first few years of our marriage, I knew that it hit Paul way harder than it hit me. Like,
It's just entitlement, dude. It's so pathetic. God, I hate straight men.
like I would just roll over and be like, "Good night."
So you knew.
Like,
Oh, no, I don't like that. I don't like him saying that. Oh my god, that gives me the ick so bad. So you knew. I'm scared.
of course I knew.
So you were aware? And you just rolled over and
Yeah, I wasn't having sex with you. I was mad at you.
You just rolled over and didn't give me sex. What the hell? This is Paul, like, actually. I think we should break up. We're not good for each other and you keep trying to manipulate me. You not rocking with me? I'm gonna kill myself.
Now, I will say there are going to be times in your
Wow.
marriage where you guys are mad at each other. You should still have sex.
What? She said, please your husband. Do your duty as a wife. She literally, it feels like she just said that to make him feel better.
But sometimes you shouldn't. Or sometimes it's just impossible because you're just like,
well,
Like, that's the she's trying to escape. That's her inner soul trying to free herself.
so maybe that's more of a guy thing, but I think it could definitely, be similar to the woman, and there are different levels of sex drives, and that can fluctuate.
Like, over and over again, every time we hear them talk about sex, it just comes down to the same conclusion of, like, Paul has a really high sex drive, but also doesn't care about, like, being a thoughtful lover or whatever, and is bad at sex. Morgan has a lower sex drive, or at least it seems that way, because she doesn't enjoy sex with Paul. And it's weird.
well, yeah, like for me, I was less sad that we were not going to have sex, but sad that, like,
That you are in a fight?
got into a fight.
And he's literally like, I'm just so sad that we didn't fuck, babe. Please.
Morgan, I will say, hearing you so brazenly say you just ignored my emotions.
Bitch, what? You were in a fight. Like, even she doesn't take that seriously. Like, he is not joking. There's no way. Look at his face.
Even though you were aware of them. There were times when I would be laying there just so hurt, realizing, okay, I get it, we're in a fight or whatever, it's valid, but man, it would mean a lot to me if you were to just kind of roll over and like...
No. No. Dude, just go jack off. Oh my god.
touch my arm and say like, I know that we're upset at each other.
Oh, you know how
I get it.
absolutely
I
hard
get
that
it.
is
I
when
get
you've
it.
been a butthead to me.
Oh my god, what is wrong with this man? And it's like, you know, the fights are his fucking fault too. Morgan is the most passive motherfucker on the planet.
And I could have done the same thing sometimes.
She doesn't want sex with you because you suck at it.
Just for you guys watching, maybe married people getting ready to be married, if you can just humble yourself and turn over to your partner and scratch their back and say, hey, we may not get this worked out tonight, but I love you and let's go ahead and have sex.
No. You don't. You don't have to do that. Here's the thing. There's nothing inherently wrong with like makeup sex or whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. But they're making it sound like it's your duty as a partner to like make your partner feel better when you're in a fight.
And we have done
And
that.
we've definitely done that.
Yes.
And I'm looking mostly at our first maybe year or two of marriage.
Mm-hmm.
I would say like our sex life is 10 times better than our first 2 years of marriage.
Yeah, because you didn't know what you were doing.
I would encourage go ahead and have sex, even if you're upset at each other. Because I think anytime
Not every time. Can't do it every time.
I think anytime we did, it was it blessed both of us.
Yes.
But
Yes. That means no.
All right, guys, what out of those things we shared did you resonate with? Maybe if you're a married person.
Yeah, what did you guys resonate with on this one? Paul, I don't think you're a bad dude, but using your emotions to manipulate your partner into having sex with you is not okay. That's a form of coercion that can lead to sexual assault. When a woman doesn't want to have sex, she doesn't want to have sex, period. If you pout and throw a fit every time you don't get your way, she doesn't give you what you... when you don't get your way and she doesn't give you what you want, and she begins to give in and have sex with you because she feels responsible for your emotions or because she wants to limit the fallout from your pouting/fit, that's strong arming her to get your way. Damn. Based. Paul, you giving Morgan a hard time for not putting out when she's upset comes off as you being inconsiderate. Oh my god. That's saying it lightly. All the comments are saying the same thing, except the ones that they heart, of course. That's such a bad video. That was so bad. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay.